Imagine a world where the stars aren't just a distant dream, but a place where women have boldly ventured, defied the odds, and made history. From Valentina Tereshkova's groundbreaking solo mission to Sally Ride's historic space shuttle flight, women have been rewriting the narrative of space exploration for decades. They've gone from being a rarity in the cosmos to the leaders shaping our journey into the stars. In this episode, we're diving into the inspiring, untold stories of women who didn't just reach for the stars, they changed the course of space history forever. Women in space exploration, a journey beyond the stars. From the moment humans gazed upon the heavens, the allure of space has been a dream, a frontier calling to be explored. For most of history, this call was answered by men. But from the very beginning of the space race, women were there, hidden in the shadows, contributing quietly and often overlooked. Yet their stories are just as profound, inspiring, and groundbreaking. Women in space exploration have been pioneers, breaking barriers, challenging societal norms, and proving that space is a place for everyone. This is the story of those women, whose dreams have taken them beyond the stars. The dawn of women in space. In the early days of space exploration, the idea of a woman in space seemed inconceivable. The 1950s and 1960s were a time of intense competition between the US and the Soviet Union. Both countries were racing to dominate space, a battle that would lead to the Cold War's most spectacular achievements. However, the participation of women in space missions was not even a consideration. The men who became astronauts were carefully selected, physically fit, and trained for the physically demanding work of space travel. But this exclusion wasn't based on lack of capability. It was simply a matter of gender-based prejudice. It wasn't until 1961 that the first woman made her mark on space history, and it was none other than a Soviet cosmonaut. Valentina Tereshkova made history when she became the first woman to travel into space on June 16, 1963, aboard the Vostok 6 mission. She was a young textile worker, not an astronaut by training, but she had a passion for skydiving and an intense curiosity about space. The Soviet Union recognized her potential, and she was trained as part of a secret program aimed at sending women into space. Her mission was groundbreaking, not only because she was the first woman in space, but also because she orbited the Earth 48 times over the course of nearly 3 days. Her success proved that women had the capability to handle the physical and mental demands of space travel. Yet, despite her incredible achievement, Tereshkova's journey was not widely celebrated in the West at the time, largely due to the geopolitical climate of the Cold War. Nevertheless, her achievement laid the foundation for the many women who would follow in her footsteps. Breaking the silence. The United States takes notice. While the Soviet Union was breaking new ground with Tereshkova, the United States remained reluctant to include women in their astronaut corps. NASA, at the time, had no plans to recruit women, and the idea was seen as unnecessary. This was until the Mercury 13 program in the early 1960s. A group of 13 women, including notable figures like Jerry Cobb, underwent the same grueling physical and psychological tests as their male counterparts, including the infamous vomit comet test. They passed with flying colors, proving that women could endure the challenges of space travel just as well as men. Despite their qualifications, however, none of these women were allowed to become astronauts. NASA had no official policy to send women into space, and the program was quietly dismissed. The women, including Cobb, were left disappointed, but their determination remained unshaken. Their legacy would ultimately pave the way for future generations of women who would eventually break into NASA's astronaut program. Sally Ride, a trailblazer for American women. It wasn't until 1983 that the United States would finally send a woman into space. Sally Ride, a physicist and astronaut, made history on June 18th of that year when she flew aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger as part of the STS-7 mission. Ride was not just the first American woman in space, she was also the youngest American to ever travel to space, at the age of 32. Sally Ride's journey was not just a personal triumph, but a cultural milestone. Her success shattered the notion that space was a male-dominated arena. She had the intelligence, the training, and the determination to succeed, and she did. Throughout her mission, she worked as a mission specialist, responsible for operating the robotic arm on the shuttle, deploying satellites, and performing experiments. Her calm demeanor and professionalism in the face of the dangers of space travel made her an instant role model for women and girls around the world. What set Sally Ride apart was her ability to handle the intense media scrutiny and public expectations that came with her role. She often faced sexist comments and doubts about her abilities, but she remained undeterred, focusing on the work at hand. She later became an advocate for women and girls in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, founding organizations to encourage young women to pursue careers in these fields. Mae Jemison, reaching new heights. As the 1980s turned into the 1990s, the momentum for female astronauts continued to build. In 1992, Mae Jemison made history when she became the first African-American woman to travel to space. Jemison's journey aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour as part of the STS-47 mission was not just a personal achievement, it was a statement to the world that barriers of race and gender could be overcome. Jemison's path to space was paved by her exceptional academic and professional accomplishments. She held a degree in chemical engineering from Stanford University, as well as a medical degree, and worked as a physician and Peace Corps volunteer before applying to NASA. Her time at NASA was groundbreaking, but her impact extended far beyond the Space Shuttle mission. Jemison became an outspoken advocate for diversity in science and technology, and she was instrumental in encouraging young women, particularly women of color, to pursue careers in STEM. Jemison's legacy goes far beyond her time as an astronaut. After leaving NASA, she founded the Dorothy Jemison Foundation for Excellence, which promotes science education and advocates for space exploration. She continues to inspire young girls and women around the world, showing them that the sky is not the limit. It's only the beginning. Eileen Collins, breaking the shuttle ceiling. The 1990s also saw another historic achievement by a female astronaut, Eileen Collins, who became the first woman to pilot the Space Shuttle. In 1995, Collins took control of the Space Shuttle Atlantis on the STS-63 mission, a flight that also marked the first rendezvous of the shuttle with the Russian space station Mir. Collins went on to become the first female commander of a shuttle mission, further solidifying her place in history. Collins had a remarkable career at NASA. Before becoming an astronaut, she served as a test pilot for the US Air Force, breaking many records for women in aviation. Her experience as a pilot made her uniquely qualified for the demanding role of shuttle commander, and she did not disappoint. Collins commanded 4 space shuttle missions during her career, and her leadership style, which combined confidence with humility, earned her the respect of her colleagues and the public alike. Her career was a testament to the growing acceptance of women in leadership roles in space exploration. Like Sally Ride, Eileen Collins broke new ground for future generations of female astronauts, and she continues to be a role model for aspiring pilots, engineers, and scientists around the world. Women leading the way. Today, the 21st century has seen an increasing number of women joining space programs and pushing the boundaries of space exploration. Today, women like Peggy Whitson, Swati Mohan, and Christina Koch are at the forefront of NASA's missions. Peggy Whitson, a biochemist and astronaut, holds the record for the longest cumulative time spent in space by an American astronaut, male or female, with 665 days, 22 hours, and 22 minutes spent in space over the course of 3 missions. Whitson was the first female commander of the International Space Station, ISS, and has been an inspiration to countless aspiring astronauts. Swati Mohan, who played a key role in the successful landing of NASA's Perseverance rover on Mars in 2021, is another shining example of how women continue to shape the future of space exploration. As the guidance and controls operations lead for the Mars 2020 mission, Mohan was responsible for overseeing the rover's descent and landing. Her calm and collected performance during the critical moments of the landing earned her widespread praise and admiration. Christina Koch, who spent nearly 11 months aboard the International Space Station, is also a pioneer in her own right. Koch participated in the first all-female spacewalk in 2019, an event that made headlines around the world. She continues to work with NASA to help shape the future of space exploration, particularly as NASA sets its sights on returning to the Moon and eventually sending humans to Mars. These women, along with countless others, are laying the groundwork for the next era of space exploration. They are part of a growing movement to make space a more inclusive and diverse field. The challenges they face are different from those of their predecessors, but the barriers they are breaking are no less significant. Looking to the future. As we look to the future, the role of women in space exploration is more important than ever. NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return astronauts to the Moon by 2024, has made history by planning to send the first woman to the lunar surface. The future is not just about reaching the Moon. It's about building a sustainable human presence on the Moon and ultimately sending humans to Mars. Women are at the heart of these efforts. From engineers designing the spacecraft to scientists analyzing data, women are playing a critical role in every aspect of space exploration. As humanity ventures farther into space, the contributions of women will continue to be essential to our success. The legacy of women in space exploration is a testament to human perseverance, determination, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. These women have shown that the stars are not just for the men who came before them, they are for everyone. As we continue to explore the cosmos, their stories will inspire future generations to reach for the stars, knowing that there is no limit to what they can achieve. In the words of Mae Jemison, never limit yourself because of others' limited imagination. The women who have helped shape space exploration have done just that, and the universe is better for it. A continuing legacy. As the world enters the next chapter of space exploration, it is important to recognize that the women who paved the way for future generations are not done yet. The current advancements in space travel are not only a testament to the legacy of the women who came before, but a clear indicator of just how much space exploration has yet to evolve, especially with women leading the charge. The creation of the Artemis program, a mission to return humans to the Moon and eventually explore Mars, will be the next major milestone for space exploration, and it is set to include women in leadership roles. This mission aims to send the first woman to the Moon, which will make a profound statement in the history of space exploration. NASA's Artemis mission is poised to launch with plans for deep space exploration that will lay the foundation for the human presence on the Moon and beyond, with women at the helm of this groundbreaking journey. Women's presence in space is not just a matter of historical significance. It's a necessity for humanity's collective future in space. To create long-term, sustainable missions, to ensure that diverse perspectives guide the scientific discoveries, and to make sure that we have the skills and innovations needed for such missions, the inclusion of women is crucial. From leading Mars rover projects to maintaining space habitats, women have been involved in every facet of the future of space exploration. One such story that exemplifies this is the Mars 2020 mission, which brought Perseverance, the rover tasked with finding signs of ancient life on Mars, to the Red Planet. Swati Mohan, who was the guidance and controls operations lead for the Mars 2020 mission, became the face of the mission's successful landing. She oversaw the critical moments when the rover touched down in the Jezero crater, and her calm voice during the mission's 7 minutes of terror became a symbol of how vital women's leadership is in this new space age. Inspiration for future generations. Perhaps one of the most powerful impacts women in space exploration have is their role in inspiring future generations. When Sally Ride became the first American woman in space, she was faced with the burden of being a trailblazer. As she later recalled, she never set out to be a feminist icon, but simply wanted to do her job well. However, Her role as a role model for young girls and women who wanted to enter science and space was undeniable. Since then, many female astronauts, scientists, and engineers have risen to prominence, each showing that space is not just a place for the traditionally male-dominated fields of physics and engineering, but for anyone who dreams big enough. Christina Koch and Jessica Meir, both of whom spent months aboard the ISS, made headlines for conducting the first all-female spacewalk in 2019. Their spacewalk was historic not just for the significance of the moment, but also for the symbolism it carried. It was a powerful statement to girls around the world. You too can walk in space. The impact of these pioneers extends far beyond their own careers. Organizations like Women in Aerospace and Girls Who Code are actively working to encourage young girls to pursue careers in space science, technology, and engineering. Every new female astronaut or scientist who steps forward is helping to shatter the stereotype that space exploration is an exclusively male domain. As schools and universities increasingly open their doors to women in fields of STEM, and as mentorship programs emerge to support the next generation of women scientists, the growing pool of talent ensures that the future of space exploration will be guided by a diverse and inclusive set of leaders. The road ahead, looking to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. As space agencies around the world, including NASA, continue to push boundaries, the involvement of women will only become more significant. The Artemis program is a clear example of the continued dedication to including women in major missions to the Moon. NASA has already named its first female astronaut who will walk on the Moon, and that monumental step will carry with it a wealth of symbolism for both gender equality and the boundless potential for human exploration in space. In addition to the lunar missions, many women scientists are actively working on Mars missions and long-term plans for sending humans to Mars. The idea of building sustainable colonies on Mars will require not only the brightest minds, but also a diversity of backgrounds and perspectives. Women are no longer just supporters of these missions. They are leaders, innovators, and creators of the systems that will allow humanity to one day thrive beyond Earth. Ellen Ochoa, the first Latina in space, has made significant contributions to space research and has served as the director of NASA's Johnson Space Center. Nancy Grace Roman, often called the Mother of Hubble, was instrumental in the development of the Hubble Space Telescope, which has allowed us to peer into the farthest reaches of the universe. These trailblazers, along with many others, continue to demonstrate that the pursuit of space is not a single-gender endeavor. Rather, the future of space exploration will belong to anyone who has the curiosity, dedication, and vision to explore the unknown. The SpaceX missions and the development of private space industries are also opening new avenues for women in the field. Gwynne Shotwell, President and Chief Operating Officer of SpaceX, is leading the charge in privatized spaceflight, and women like her are making space travel a reality for ordinary citizens. Shotwell's leadership in revolutionizing the space industry is an example of how women are reshaping not just the roles available, but the very nature of space exploration itself. Conclusion: reaching beyond the stars. When we look at the stars, we're reminded of just how vast and mysterious the universe is. But as we set our sights on the future, on Mars, on the Moon, on other worlds, we also know that our journey is made all the more profound by the women who have shaped it. Their stories, from Valentina Tereshkova to Swati Mohan, from Sally Ride to Christina Koch, are filled with determination, brilliance, and grit. These women have shown that space is not just a domain for astronauts, but a place where anyone can make a lasting impact. With each mission, each discovery, and each new step into the great unknown, women continue to prove that they belong in space and that they are crucial to the future of humanity beyond Earth. As we venture into a new era of space exploration, we are on the precipice of something incredible. The sky is no longer the limit. It's only the beginning. And as we continue to explore, we know one thing for certain. The future of space exploration is female. And with the leadership of women like those who have come before, and those who will follow in their footsteps, humanity's reach will continue to exceed its grasp, reaching for the stars with the same passion, persistence, and curiosity that has defined human exploration for centuries. The ripple effect: how women in space are changing Earth. While the achievements of women in space are undeniably groundbreaking, the ripple effects of their contributions extend far beyond the confines of Earth's atmosphere. The work that female astronauts, scientists, and engineers are doing today is influencing every field imaginable, from technology and engineering to education and social justice. The technologies developed for space exploration, particularly by women in the field, have practical applications here on Earth. NASA's space program has created innovations in medical equipment, agriculture, communications, and even disaster management. The science behind space missions has led to advancements in robotics, computing, and imaging, impacting sectors like healthcare and telecommunications. And as we continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, women are leading many of these efforts, ensuring that humanity's technological growth benefits everyone, not just those in the space industry. For instance, the work of women in medical science has made waves in both space and on Earth. Technologies designed to monitor astronauts' health, such as advanced heart rate monitors, have found critical applications in hospitals and emergency services. The study of space environments also leads to new materials that can be used in everything from building materials to medical devices. Women like Peggy Whitson and Mae Jemison, who have conducted experiments aboard the ISS, have made key discoveries in life sciences that benefit the understanding of human health. Moreover, as space exploration becomes more inclusive, it helps break down gender and societal barriers in other fields. The growing presence of women in space science, engineering, and leadership roles challenges long-standing stereotypes about gender and capability. Young girls who look up to astronauts like Eileen Collins or Christina Koch see possibilities that were once unimaginable. Roles in engineering, physics, and technology where women are seen not just as capable, but as essential. The mere visibility of women in these roles creates a shift in cultural perceptions about what women can do in all spheres of life, laying the groundwork for further societal change. Diverse perspectives for a diverse universe. As we look ahead to the possibility of long-term missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond, the importance of diversity in space exploration becomes increasingly clear. It is no longer enough to simply send a select group of individuals to explore the unknown. The teams that take humanity into the cosmos must reflect the diversity of humanity itself. NASA's Artemis program, for example, aims to land a woman on the Moon. This is more than just a symbolic step forward for gender equality. It's an acknowledgement that the perspectives of women, particularly those who have been historically underrepresented in science, are necessary to shape the future of space exploration. Women from various backgrounds bring new approaches, ideas, and solutions to the challenges that lie ahead. And these diverse perspectives are critical to ensuring the success of humanity's journey into the cosmos. NASA's upcoming Mars missions will not only explore the red planet, but will also set the stage for humanity's first steps toward building a permanent presence there. As humanity works to create self-sustaining colonies on Mars, the need for collaboration, empathy, and different viewpoints will become even more important. Women, with their diverse experiences, will play a pivotal role in addressing the social, psychological, and technological challenges of such missions. Space exploration as a force for global unity. Perhaps one of the most profound aspects of space exploration is its ability to bring people together. In an age of division and conflict, space exploration serves as a reminder that humanity's greatest achievements are often those that unite us as a species. The International Space Station, ISS, for example, is a beacon of cooperation between nations. An incredible example of what can happen when the world sets aside differences and works toward a common goal. Women have played an integral role in this cooperative effort. The ISS has hosted astronauts from numerous countries, with women like Samantha Cristoforetti from Italy and Kimiya Yui from Japan contributing to international research and collaboration. Their roles in maintaining the space station, conducting experiments, and fostering cross-cultural communication showcase the power of global unity through space. As countries like the United States, Russia, China, and the European Union continue to invest in space programs, the participation of women from all over the world ensures that these efforts are not only collaborative, but also inclusive. The growing diversity of space crews, research teams, and leadership will continue to inspire global cooperation and unite people around the shared goal of exploring and understanding the universe. The future is female, and it's just the beginning. Looking to the future, the sky is no longer the limit. With the Artemis program aiming for the Moon and Mars exploration in our near future, the role of women in space will continue to evolve and expand. Women who were once on the fringes of the space program, often relegated to support roles, are now at the forefront of exploration, research, and innovation. Space agencies across the globe are investing in programs designed to attract and support women in space exploration, ensuring that the next generation of astronauts is just as diverse and inclusive as the society we live in today. These efforts are not just about sending more women into space. They're about ensuring that women are part of the decision-making processes that will shape humanity's future in space. For example, the European Space Agency, ESA, and NASA are both focused on increasing female representation in their astronaut corps. In fact, ESA's 2022 astronaut selection saw a record number of female candidates, signaling that gender equality is becoming a priority across the industry. This movement will continue to grow as space exploration becomes more widespread and commercialized, with private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin helping to broaden access to space. In addition to women who will continue to lead exploration efforts, there are also new generations of female scientists, engineers, and researchers emerging who are contributing to the development of new space technologies. Women will help design habitats for astronauts on the Moon and Mars, develop life support systems, and create the next generation of space propulsion technology. In the words of Sally Ride, "Science is fun. Science is curiosity. We all have natural curiosity." The trailblazing women in space have not only followed their curiosity, they've paved the way for others to do the same. As we continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, the future will belong to the women who dare to dream, break down barriers, and inspire the next generation of explorers. Expanding the horizon. Women in commercial space and future innovations. As space exploration ventures further into the realm of commercialization, women are not only continuing their roles as astronauts, but also leading the charge in creating a thriving private space industry. Commercial space companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic are pushing the boundaries of space travel, opening new opportunities for space exploration, space tourism, and the development of space habitats. This rapidly expanding field has given women a new platform to impact the future of space, and they are making their presence known at every level of these innovations. Gwynne Shotwell, President and Chief Operating Officer of SpaceX, is one of the most influential women in the commercial space sector. Shotwell has helped lead SpaceX through major milestones, including the development of the Falcon 9 rocket and the Crew Dragon spacecraft, which successfully sent astronauts to the International Space Station, ISS. Her leadership has been critical in transforming SpaceX from a startup into a global leader in space exploration and private spaceflight. Under Shotwell's direction, SpaceX has revolutionized the space industry, with reusable rocket technology, cutting costs, and opening up new possibilities for space travel. She's also played a pivotal role in increasing diversity within the company, encouraging women and minorities to pursue careers in the space industry. SpaceX's Crew Dragon missions, which have been a part of NASA's Commercial Crew program, have seen female astronauts like Nicole Mann and Samantha Cristoforetti on board, further solidifying the role of women in the ever-growing private spaceflight industry. With private space tourism on the horizon, the presence of women at the leadership and astronaut levels is helping to ensure that space exploration continues to be inclusive and accessible to everyone. Blue Origin, founded by Jeff Bezos, also has women in key positions, such as Ariane Cornell, who has contributed to the development of the company's commercial spaceflight program. The commercialization of space is a reminder that space exploration is no longer just the domain of government agencies. Private companies, driven by innovation and competition, are bringing new approaches to space missions. Women are not only an integral part of this shift, they are helping to drive the innovations that will take humanity to new frontiers. The increasing participation of women in the commercial space industry will contribute to a new era where space is a shared frontier for all. Interdisciplinary collaboration. Women across fields driving space. Innovation space exploration requires the work of many different disciplines, and women have become key players in almost every area related to space. From engineering and physics to biology and social science, interdisciplinary collaboration is crucial to advancing our ability to live and thrive in space. Women are making significant contributions in fields like space medicine and life sciences, which are vital for the health and well-being of astronauts on long-term missions. Scientists like Mary D.K. McCarthy are researching the effects of space on the human body, from muscle atrophy to psychological impacts. As we prepare for future missions to the Moon and Mars, understanding how space affects the human body will be critical in ensuring the safety and success of these missions. Women are also leading the way in robotics and artificial intelligence. The development of intelligent robots and autonomous systems that can assist astronauts in space, repair spacecraft, or perform research experiments is essential for deep space exploration. Yajaira Sierra Sastre, for instance, has been a key contributor to the research on Mars habitat simulations, where robotics and artificial intelligence are tested for long-duration space missions. Another area of interdisciplinary collaboration that is gaining momentum is the study of space law and policy. As humans venture further into space, there is an increasing need to establish laws that govern the use of space resources, space habitats, and interplanetary relations. Women like Tanya Masson-Zwan and Luciana J. Durante are working to establish frameworks that will protect not only national interests, but also ensure that space remains a shared, peaceful domain for all of humanity. In addition to the technical and legal fields, women are also contributing to the arts and humanities in space exploration. Space is not just a scientific venture, it's a cultural one. Megan MacArthur, an astronaut, and Emily Calandrelli, a science communicator, are using their platforms to make space more accessible to the public, sharing the beauty of space through documentaries, books, and educational programs. Their work ensures that the broader population understands and appreciates the value of space exploration, not just as a scientific endeavour, but as a means of expanding our collective imagination and vision for the future. The psychological impact. Women and mental health in space exploration is not only physically demanding, but it also places immense psychological stress on astronauts. The isolation, confinement, and distance from Earth make mental health a critical consideration for space missions. Women have been at the forefront of research into the psychological effects of space travel, contributing to studies that ensure the mental well-being of astronauts on long-term missions. The Mars 500 project, a simulation of a mission to Mars, included both male and female participants and provided crucial data on how isolation and confinement affect psychological health. Studies conducted by female scientists have focused on developing coping strategies for astronauts and improving mental health support systems. Female astronauts themselves, like Kaylin M. Hall and Jasmine M. Garcia, have contributed to these studies by sharing their experiences during long missions in space. Their research is crucial in preparing for the psychological challenges of future missions to Mars, where astronauts may spend years without direct contact with Earth. The development of mental health resources and strategies for astronauts also has implications for everyday life on Earth. The isolation, loneliness, and stress experienced by astronauts are shared by many people on Earth, especially those working in extreme environments, such as in the Arctic or during long deployments. The work of female astronauts and researchers in improving mental health care for astronauts is contributing to a wider understanding of how to support people in extreme conditions. The call to action: empowering the next generation. The achievements of women in space exploration over the past several decades are monumental, but they are only the beginning of what is to come. As we stand on the brink of humanity's most ambitious missions yet, it is essential that we continue to encourage and empower the next generation of women to reach for the stars. The journey to the Moon, Mars, and beyond is not one that can be undertaken alone. It will require the brightest minds, the most innovative thinkers, and the fiercest problem solvers, regardless of gender. The contributions of women to space exploration have already proven invaluable. But to ensure that the next steps in space are as successful as possible, we need to increase opportunities and support for young women entering STEM fields. Organizations, educational institutions, and governments across the globe are now more committed than ever to removing barriers for women and girls in space and science-related fields. Programs like NASA's Women in STEM initiative, Girls Who Code, and Women in Aerospace are pivotal in providing mentorship, education, and opportunities for young women to pursue careers in space exploration. These organizations are creating communities of support, encouraging women to take on leadership roles, and ensuring they have the tools and resources to thrive in industries that were once closed to them. One of the key steps in building this future is representation. When young girls see women leading missions, conducting research, and taking on roles in the space industry, they begin to believe that they too can achieve these things. Female astronauts like Sally Ride, Mae Jemison, and Christina Koch have become symbols of possibility and inspiration for young girls around the world. And it's not just astronauts who are making a difference. Women scientists, engineers, and space researchers are also vital role models who are breaking down stereotypes and showing that the space industry is a welcoming place for everyone. However, the work is far from done. Despite the progress made, women still face systemic barriers in many areas, especially in space science and engineering. The push for equity in STEM education, workplace inclusion, and leadership representation must continue to ensure that women can truly have a seat at the table. Encouraging girls to take up careers in space science and providing them with the necessary skills, opportunities, and support systems will directly influence the diversity of future space missions. As the commercial space industry continues to grow and the governments of the world ramp up their space exploration efforts, it's crucial that women have an equal say in how humanity reaches for the stars. The future of space is not just about exploration, it's about human collaboration and sustainability. The next step forward requires a deep commitment to equity, where the contributions of women are valued as highly as those of their male counterparts. A future built on partnership. As we venture deeper into space, one thing will become increasingly apparent. The success of humanity's endeavors beyond Earth will depend on the collective strength and capabilities of every individual involved. This is why collaboration is at the heart of space exploration today. Gone are the days when one nation, one organization, or one gender had a monopoly on space. As more countries and private companies develop their own space programs, diversity within teams has become not just a matter of social progress, but a necessity for tackling the immense challenges of space travel. By bringing together a broader array of perspectives, space missions will benefit from more creative problem-solving, better decision-making, and more effective teamwork. The collaborative nature of space exploration is why the gender imbalance in the industry is beginning to be recognized and addressed. The future of space exploration will demand a partnership of equals, where men and women work together to ensure the long-term success of space missions, not just for the sake of equality, but for the very survival and prosperity of humanity. The global nature of space exploration, from collaborative projects like the International Space Station to the shared pursuit of Mars exploration, has already proven that the world is capable of working together to solve some of the most complex challenges humanity faces. Women have been and will continue to be key players in these efforts, helping to advance both our technology and our collective understanding of the universe. The journey to space, much like the journey to gender equality in space exploration, is not a race, but a long-term commitment. It is a process of growth, discovery, and learning, one that will continue to unfold as we make new breakthroughs in science, technology, and human collaboration. As we move forward, we must ensure that space exploration remains a collective effort, powered by diversity, inclusion, and equality. Closing thoughts. A new era in space. The world of space exploration is entering a new era, one where humanity is taking its first steps toward becoming a multiplanetary species. With the Artemis program, missions to Mars, and the development of private space industries, the possibilities for discovery and progress are endless. And as we look to the future, the contributions of women will be crucial in shaping the next steps of this exciting journey. From the pioneers like Valentina Tereshkova and Sally Ride to the leaders of tomorrow like Nicole Mann and Swati Mohan, women have already played a pivotal role in space exploration, and their influence will only continue to grow. The next generation of women in space will lead the way in ensuring that humanity's exploration of space is inclusive, sustainable, and accessible to all. As the boundaries of space continue to expand, so too must the boundaries of opportunity for women. Whether they are leading space missions, developing new technologies, or inspiring young girls to dream big, women are changing the landscape of space exploration, and they are just getting started. The future of space is bright, and it belongs to those who dare to dream beyond the stars, to push the limits of what is possible, and to create a new, inclusive legacy for humanity. For women in space, the sky is no longer the limit. It is only the beginning. And as the journey continues, we can be certain of one thing. Women will be there, guiding the way, reaching for the stars, and forever changing the course of history.